What is going on, TryHard podcast listeners? We are back. Another episode. Hope you guys are doing well. I missed you guys last week. Listen, I've been sick. I had COVID. All right, aka a cold. I didn't test myself, but I know what COVID feels like already. I've had it. This would be my second time I've had it. I was messed up. Didn't feel like really doing shit, let alone actually recording a podcast. I actually had a guest scheduled for last week, and I couldn't do it, bro. You guys would have spent the entire time just listening to me go like it's just not, you know what I mean? That's not worth it. And I'm not even fully recovered yet. I still have like a little bug in my throat. Pause. So if you hear anything, it's all right. I'm all right. All right. Anyway, guys, listen. Welcome back. Let's get to it. I'm excited to have you guys back. Let me get some shotgun sounds real quick. Listen, guys. All right. A lot of stuff has been happening. All right. A lot of stuff's been happening. I haven't been streaming very much. I just got back to streaming this week. I've been grinding college football 2025. All right. I've been grinding that. And it's been refreshing. All right. Listen, guys, I know we're a part of the Call of Duty community. You guys listening right now are more than likely still playing MW3. Let me tell you something. All right. When you step away from MW3, play a different game, play a different Call of Duty, just play anything else, or just don't play anything at all. Just step away. All right. Let me tell you something, guys. When you come back to this game, when you come back to MW3 after taking weeks off, you really get to see how bad that game is. You really get to see how bad MW3 is. Holy shit. The game is horrible. All right. It is horrible. It's disgustingly bad. It's almost offensive how bad it is. All right, literally, it's almost offensive with how bad MW3 is. Okay, and again, you guys know it's bad because you're playing it. But when you step away and you come back, you really get to feel how horrible the game is. I was in awe the last 2 days playing it. I was in awe. I'm like, I can't believe I played this much. I spent through the entire cycle of MW3 throughout the CDL season, I spent 1,720 hours on this game. How was I playing this horrible of a game for that much? I'm disgusted in myself. Literally disgusted in myself. The game is just god awful. It's god awful. Anyway, aside from that, I actually had a guest scheduled for last week. Like I said, I had COVID. I'm pretty sure I had COVID. I was sick. It wouldn't have been a good episode. It would have been me just doing that, coughing. It wouldn't have been a good episode. So I'm like, you know what? Let's not do that. I know I told you guys last episode that I was gonna stay consistent with this, but at the same time, I'm not gonna be putting out just low quality content as far as this podcast. I'm not doing it. All right, I'm not doing it. It's just I'd rather not record. I don't want to give you some BS just because I want to stay consistent. That's stupid. That's dumb. I want this to be a high quality thing. But yeah. So that's what I've been doing lately. Listen, guys, I'm ready for BO6 to come out. All right, I'm ready. All right, I've said this before in past podcasts, in past episodes of this podcast. I'm not a real gamer. All right, I'm not a real gamer. I'm a fake gamer. I really am. I'm not a real gamer. Real gamers play a bunch of games, right? Real gamers play everything. I don't. I'm a one-trick pony, bro. Literally, I'm a one-trick pony. If I'm not playing COD, I don't like to game. Like college football was a little different because I've been waiting for this game since 2013, 2014. So I had to play that game, right? I had to grind it just out of like respect for my younger self. I had to play college football 2025. other than that, you guys, I just don't like, if it's not Call of Duty, I don't fuck with games. Like, it is what it is. I've come to realize that out of myself. All right. And it's sad because we've had such shit Call of Duties the last couple of years, but I still play them. You know what I mean? Listen, guys, I'm not a real gamer. I'm not. All right. When I say I play a video game, I play a video game. I play Call of Duty. All right. Not Warzone, Call of Duty. There's a fucking difference. You got it? There's a difference. And please understand that. You little Warzone nerds, when you say you play COD, no, you don't. You play Warzone. There's a difference. I play Call of Duty. You play Warzone. All right? You use fucking armor shields and shit and gas masks. We don't do that in COD. All right, let me not get on a long tangent of that, but you know what I'm saying. All right. So guys, I've really learned that for myself these last couple, like 2 months really, of like the end of the cycle of this game, trying to like and here's the problem, guys. So before I took this break from stream, I took like a month off of streaming, like 3 weeks, something like that. I was starting to build a little momentum with like my consistent crew as far as when I streamed, you know. And again, guys, I'm a small streamer. I'm nothing big. Twitch.tv/Garza Beats. Don't forget, you want to drop a follow, go ahead. But my crew that I was starting to build, it was people that watched me play MW3, right? So once I stopped playing MW3, I'm like, well, I can play other things. I just don't have the passion for it. And I don't have the passion to stream other games. Really, I don't. Like, it is what it is. Like, I'd rather just do this. I'd rather, if I'm going to stream, just stream and talk shit like this. Like, I should be streaming right now and just doing this. You know what I mean? But that's a whole nother issue. We're going to talk about that. We'll talk about it now. So eventually what I want to do is do this podcast live, right? But here's the kicker though. I'll probably only do the live version of this podcast because my biggest problem is I hate having to upload to YouTube. I hate having to do all that shit, right? But I figured if I stream this shit, if I stream my live podcast, right, it'll just be a VOD on Twitch. You know what I mean? Like, just use it like that. I don't know. I just been thinking. My whole point of this podcast was for it to be the audio, like the best Call of Duty podcast audio wise. You know what I mean? Because I think about the people that are actually going to listen to the podcast, right? Like, what are you guys doing when you're listening to the podcast? I highly doubt anyone's going to watch me on YouTube while they're doing something, right? But you might listen. You might get your headphones in and listen to Spotify podcast or Apple podcast, right? It's a good chance for that. So just things I've been playing with as far as like this episode, I'm going to upload right to YouTube. All right. By the way, guys, if you're listening, if you're a listener, right? If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and you want to check out the video version of this podcast, YouTube/Garza Beats. It's on there. All right, it's on there. It's on there. So just now when I do guest episodes, we do multi-screen. We have them video in. So it is still keeping the video version of this podcast is still important, I guess, but I just got to quit being fucking lazy. That's my biggest problem. It's just being lazy and editing it to upload it to YouTube. You know what I mean? But to be honest with you, I don't really edit much because I say what I want. If you don't like it, cool. If you like it, cool. Whatever. If you're offended, sorry. Like, it is what it is. So, yeah, sorry for the tangent. We got a couple issues to talk about within the Call of Duty community today. I made a major mistake on X. I've been really, the presidential election, all this shit, politics, and all that stuff. I made a horrible mistake, and I've been watching, political stuff on X. So now my entire feed is just Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, JD Vance, Like it's all political shit, and it's kind of annoying. I wish I wouldn't have fucked up my algorithm. You know what I mean? I wish I wouldn't have. It's kind of like if when you're on Instagram and you be looking at girls' asses, all of a sudden your entire algorithm is girls' asses. Like, you fucked yourself, buddy. Now you got to go and look at like kittens and shit or dogs and try to clear that algorithm up, right? I got to do that on fucking X. I got to go and just look up and nothing but esports stuff to clear my fucking algorithm. Because every time I go on X, it's just Kamala Harris said this, Donald Trump said this. You're gay if you vote for this guy. You're gay if you vote for this girl. It's like bro, it's too much. I did it to myself. But let's talk about. I think we're a couple of days away from EWC, Esports World Cup, the Call of Duty part of this Olympic esports event, I guess you could call it. Shout out to the Olympics. The Olympics are going on right now. Here's another big problem of mine. Okay, imagine a Call of Duty event at the Olympics. Imagine that, dude. Imagine. Oh, I was thinking about that the other day. Imagine, right? Imagine the best teams from America, the best players from America against the best players from Canada, against the best players from Nigeria, against the best players from China, against the best player. Man, I mean, it's that's a hit waiting to happen. That is a hit waiting to happen. And you know what? Hopefully this EWC stuff, the Esports World Cup stuff, hopefully it's kind of like that. Hopefully. I mean, obviously, like the players divided by country is not a thing, but hopefully the hype, right? Hopefully. So we got that coming up a little bit. Now, again, if you're not a part of esports, right? If you're not a part, well, actually, for as far as Call of Duty, if you're not involved in a Call of Duty competitive scene, you have no idea. You have no idea that the Esports World Cup is coming up as for Call of Duty. You have no idea, right? Activision has not tweeted a thing about it, has not reposted a thing about it, and any other social media platforms. The Call of Duty, the Call of Duty, like the actual Call of Duty accounts on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, they've posted nothing about it. They've not shared any videos. They've not done any update, which to me says a lot. To me, it says that, and I might have talked about this last podcast, but to me, it tells me that Activision did not want to allow this, but the Saudis must have gave an ungodlike amount of money to Activision for permission to do this, because Activision has not said a word about this EWC thing at all, right? Which is kind of funny because, I mean, again, I might have said this last podcast, but if you know Activision, they're pretty they're a very, very hardcore liberal company, and they have a big, how do you say this? A lot of their views don't align with what the Saudis believe in, right? So that's a whole other thing. We're not getting into that, but so again, if you're not a part of the competitive Call of Duty community, you have no idea that the multiplayer aspect for Call of Duty for the Esports World Cup is coming up. You have no fucking idea, which is a damn shame, because it should be a huge event. It should be an entertaining event. So it's just like, it's like literally, it's a big deal that's not being treated like a big deal. You know what I mean? Like it's fucking awkward. It's awkward. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I wish the orgs, and the orgs can't even really say much about it because, they're tied with the league, and it's a big fucking mess, bro. It's a big mess. And even though it is another big event for the players, aka more money, I feel kind of bad for the players, because they're really not going to get an off season due to this EWC thing. They're not going to get an actual off season. You know what I mean? Like the new game comes out in October. And again, I might have talked about this last episode, but the new BO6 comes out in October, right? So they're going to get a month of like actual chill time, of actual, like a month and a half of actual, like, get away from social media, get away from Call of Duty, get away from the scene, and just actually be normal people. It's going to be interesting to see what teams and players, how they react to this non-existent off season. It's going to be very interesting to see how all that plays out, because to be honest with you, I think it's going to be a big nuisance to a lot of teams who were already at the cusp of wanting to make changes. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting, bro. These guys are going to be worn out. Pause. They're going to be worn out, like, big time. A lot of these guys are going to be really, really worn out. And it sucks, but hey, it's what you do for a living. You're a professional, so shut the fuck up. Do your job, practice, and go win some money. Life could be worse. All right, life could be worse. You could not have a job, or you could have a normal job. Instead, you get paid to play a video game. So, quiet up. I know you're tired. Shut the fuck up. Get in this scrim. Get this work in. Go to Saudi and win some money. That's it. That's all I got to tell you about that. All right? I don't want to hear no complaints. Don't want to hear no complaints. You got it? Shut up and go. Listen, also, off the EWC, another big topic that happened today was pretty much the overall canning, the AKA another one bites the dust of the Boston Breach organization, which is crazy. Actually, it's not crazy, but I'll explain to you why I don't think it's that crazy or unexpected. It's a shame. It's a shame. Well, hold on. Let me pull this up real quick. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see this. If you're not, too bad. Go to YouTube and check it out. So right here, Dexterto around 4:00 today released a post on their Twitter page that said Oxygen Esports / Boston Breach are in the process of laying off all staff and players and will cease operations. The company is part of the Kraft Sports Entertainment owned by Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft, of course, being the owner of the New England Patriots, the NFL franchise. More of this was players for the Boston Breach have been told that they will lose access to the Helix facility. The Helix facility is where the Boston Breach players play out of, where they scrim out of. It's pretty much their HQ. So they will lose access to the Helix facility and be out of their apartment by August 8th, which is tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow. Just days before they head to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia for the EWC. Now, let's dive into this a little bit. So, what does this all mean? Well, it's not hard to understand what it means. It means fucking Boston Breach is out. Plain and simple. Which... And one thing that I'm annoyed by, I keep seeing Dexterto sources. Listen, Dexterto knows this stuff a day or two before it happens. All right? They know. They get fed this information. Okay? It's not like they're just like doing some hardcore research about it. They get fed this information. All right? Hold on a minute. Let me see this. So staff for the Now, you guys gotta understand. I know right now everyone's thinking about, well, the players, and no offense to the players, I'm not really thinking about the players. All right, I'm not really thinking about the players. I'm thinking about the staff over there at Oxygen Esports. All right, there's like grown-ups over there. You know what I mean? Like there's like legit adults over there. Okay, with mortgages, with bills, with like possible, kids and shit. There's like legit like adults who depend on, their job at Oxygen Esports. Okay. Now, from my inside sources, from what I've been told, the people at Oxygen Esports, they have a small crew. It's not a big staff. It's a fairly small crew. From what I was told, this wasn't like a, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. It wasn't like that. Like it was one of those things where you could kind of, if your eyes are open, you can kind of see some shit going on. As far as the timing, that was the surprise. Like they didn't expect it all to go to shit like today. You know what I mean? That was the surprise. So a lot of people are left in a weird position. And the fans, right? The Call of Duty community, you guys are thinking about, the players, the Call of Duty League players. You're thinking about the content creators. No. Those are people who make money. They make money like, you know what I mean? Like they should be good, right? They should be good. They're not fully like, and I'm not trying to call these guys kids, but they're good. Censor's fine without Boston Breach, right? There are other content creators that they have make money away from Boston Breach. The CDL players will be fine, right? They're young. I'm worried about the grown-ups, the 20, the 25, the 26, the 27, the 28, the 30-plus-year-olds who have a job at this Oxygen Esports and just lost their jobs. Like, that's the shit that fucks me up. You know what I mean? Like, that has me kind of depressed. I'm not depressed, but you know what I mean, right? Makes you feel a little bad. Because I'm sure those people weren't making a shitload of money, right? I'm sure they weren't balling. But I'm sure it was their main source of income for a lot of those people. So just like that, snap of a finger and it's gone, right? And again, obviously, I saw a video of one of their staff members talking about just the ruthlessness of the internet and X and the random people talking about it. You guys got to understand, all right? Because the average fan who's commenting on this, right? The average fan who's commenting on this, poverty org, Snoopy literally destroyed this organ. Like they're saying shit that they're just dumb idiots, dumb stuff, things that don't even make sense, right? Dumb shit. They don't understand that it's more than like this lead up to this happening wasn't just because of a Call of Duty event or winning an event or losing the event, or it's more than that. All right. You also got to understand who owns this team, right? The craft group, right? I'm not sure if you guys were, paying attention to what happened yesterday as far as the stock market. A lot of people lost a lot of money yesterday, right? What's today? Wednesday. A lot of people lost a lot of money on Monday, Tuesday, or whatever because of the stock market, right? A lot of people lost a lot of money. Now, Maybe if someone does some research, you can look into maybe a lot of the Kraft Group's holdings within the stock market. Maybe they lost a shitload of money. And they were already wanting to dump this shit, and they just said, hey, we got to dump this shit now. We just lost 30 million, 40 million in the market on Monday, right? We got to start cutting the losses now. Like that could be a possibility, right? Either way, Oxygen Esports, the people who own them, are not the only group who owns a part of the Call of Duty League that wants to get out. Like this is not like a crazy like, whoa, I never saw that coming. No, there's more out there that are looking to get the fuck out. There's more. Obviously, the LAG, right? Which, if I'm correct, LAG's like, there should be an announcement soon with LAG. There should be, right? And I know there's another team for sure, right? There's another team outside of LAG and outside of Oxygen Esports. There's another team that's like packing their shit right now. Okay. You also got to understand, a couple months ago, Activision made that announcement that they were forgiving all the Call of Duty League fees, pretty much voiding those contracts. So teams now are like okay to make this move, right? A lot of these groups they're okay to just leave. Like they got their walking papers and they can walk with not having to suffer any consequences as far as financial consequences, right? So you're going to see teams that were on the fence. Season's over. We got EWC. After that, season's over. If you want to go, you might as well go. Oxygen Esports, again, I think maybe something to do with the market crash on Monday that could have maybe, I don't know, someone's got to do some research into that, maybe find out if I'm right or not. Either way, Oxygen Esports, they saw their chance to get the fuck out. They got out. And it's a big loss. It's a big loss to the league. Not even to the league. Fuck the CDL. It's a big loss to the community. All right? Oxygen Esports did a lot as far as like engaging with the Call of Duty community. Like they did a lot. They did a lot for the challenger scene. A lot. Arguably the most out of any CDL team these last 2 years. So this is a big loss for the community, in overall, not just the CDL. Oxygen Esports is, everybody over there, they were a big part in keeping this shit moving, keeping this shit fresh, keeping these challenger players, these stars of tomorrow, keeping these players involved and seen. So it's a big loss. It's an unfortunate and a big loss for the Call of Duty community. Big loss. Sucks, but I mean, what are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? And like I said, it's not something that you can say, oh, I never thought that would happen, bro. These teams have not made any money since the Call of Duty League's inaugural season. Teams have not made money outside of Optic. Nobody's making money, right? And if the rumors are true with the way the format's going to be next year, what's the point? What's the point? Get a top challenger team and play your way into, you know what I mean? Like, you can do that. Like, you don't have to be a part of the CDL league. For what? For what? We don't even know if it's going to be like there's a lot of unanswered questions right now that when they're answered, people are going to like, people are not going to like. But if you're a company that's in charge of if you're investors and you've been a part of this thing and you were promised this type of success, this type of ROI, and you haven't even got close to that, why? Why keep going for another year? For what? Especially when you just got the okay to leave without any repercussions. Why sit here and keep playing this game? No pun intended. Why? Leave. Take your losses and leave. I think they'll probably get like $1 million or $2 million for leaving, to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure that was a part of the deal. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those situations that it's not surprising, but it's still unfortunate because I know there's people within the Oxygen Esports team who had no idea this was coming or happening today. Right? You guys think about this. When you're talking shit about Oxygen Esports, all right? When you're talking about Oxygen Esports, all right? And you goons are saying fucking poverty org, fucking I'm glad you're out of here, blah blah blah. When you're saying shit like that, please understand today someone woke up, went to work, and now no longer has a way to financially support themselves. Now they got to figure out, how am I going to get my next paycheck? What am I going to do? My mortgage is due in 2 days. I only have this much money in the bank. My kids start school in blah, blah, blah. I need to pay for this. I need to pay for that. They woke up, went to work, and left work with uncertainty. Like, that's, as an adult, you guys, I know a lot of you kids talking shit on Twitter are your kids. You don't understand. As an adult, that is scary. That is scary. Knock on wood, I never have to go. Knock on wood, you never have to deal with that. Knock on wood. So everyone talking shit is like, dude, please understand what you guys are saying. Please understand what the shit you're talking about. Please understand. It sucks, man. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Hopefully prayers to all those people who were just laid off today. Hopefully they, figure something out fast. Yeah, it sucks, man. I feel bad for those people. Feel bad for them. And I mean, what could have Boston Breach done? Is there things that they could have done to prevent this? Yeah, they could have. And it's got nothing to do with winning Call of Duty events. I shouldn't say that. A little bit. Boston Breach, just like every other CDL team, Boston Breach, outside of Optic, failed to garner a fan base, a real fan base, not a couple hundred people, no, a real fan base. Merch sold out. Content on the regular, getting hundreds of thousands of views. Original content, right? Sponsorships. Different, I'm finding different ways to bring in money. Sponsorships, side events, merchandise, ticket. We're hosting an event. It sells out immediately. Right? They failed to build that audience. And they're not the only ones. If anything, they got closer than a lot of the other teams did. They did more. They were more involved. They were more beloved by the Call of Duty scene than 95% of all these other teams. And Boston's gone now. What does that make you say about the Legion. You know? What do you think about that? Like, we see these other teams getting bought out. New York bought out, right? Who else is getting bought out? Someone else is getting bought out. Carolina getting bought out, right? LAG will get bought out. Crazy times in the CDL. But that's how shit goes, bros. That's how shit goes. You got to understand that's how it goes. All right? And I fully, again, let me tell you this. Today you guys saw Boston Breach. There's LAG, we know that's coming, right? Pause. That's coming. We got one more. Best believe when I find out, I'm not Dick Sturto. When I find out 100%, I'm fucking immediately putting that shit up. Immediately. Right? I'm not typing something. I'm letting you all know immediately. When I'm 95% sure, when I'm 90% sure, I'll let y'all know. Why not? Fuck it. Why not? Right? Why not? It's crazy. I feel sad, mad, but kind of like, I told you so. I told you so. Then you got Slasher's goofy ass. Seen that coming back from a mile away. Yo, let's go to Slasher real quick. Hold on. Let's go to Slasher real quick. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look what Slasher said. Saw that coming from a mile away. When is that man going to move on? Slasher, look at me in my face. Look at me in my eyes. You don't know me. I don't know you. Brother, she no longer loves you. Leave her alone. It's over. She left ya. Let it go. Let it go. You're still on this Boston Breach hate train. That train is fucking long gone. And you're just sitting there still like, bro, let it go. You'll get on a team somewhere. I'm sure some idiot GM will be like, well, let me get Slasher. He might be cracked in BO6. Let me get him. You'll get a shot, or you'll be a coach or something. You look, first of all, you look weird. She's got a new boyfriend. She's gone. Let her go. Holy shit, bro. Somebody's gotta say something to this guy. Bro, it's over, brother. It's over. It's over. It's crazy. That guy's insane. Either way, guys, it is what it is. Listen, guys, I'm not going to bother you too much, all right? It's a short episode. I just want to get back on and talk about this Boston Breach thing. I think the next episode we'll do this weekend, and I'm going to drop my conspiracy theory about a roster change coming of one of the top 4 teams and my reason why I think they're going to do it. Let me repeat that. This weekend, I'm going to drop an episode, all right, a solo episode, and I'm going to give you my reason and my conspiracy theory on why this top 4 team is going to make a roster move and why they're going to do it. Stay tuned. All right. Listen, guys, I love you. I appreciate you guys checking me out. If you're watching me on YouTube, drop a like, subscribe. share. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure to like, make sure to leave 5 stars, make sure to, what else can you do? Subscribe, do anything you can do. Please do it. Let's help me build this podcast. All right. I'd greatly appreciate it. All right. Love you guys. God bless. We'll be back. Remember, love each other, be nice to each other, and more importantly, wash your ass. We out this bitch.